Slowly, 𝗤𝗺cie enters a tent she barely knows, in this camp north of Idlib. She's back in Syria after being forced to uproot her life a second time. 𝗤𝗺cie fled the conflict in Lebanon to come here, an area run by the Syrian opposition. She says she lost her identification papers on the journey, a trip that cost her hundreds of dollars, paid to smugglers.
We fled Syria because of the bombing, and then the Israeli bombing came to us. So we returned and fled here. We prefer to sit here in a tent for fear of sitting there in Lebanon. They bombed indiscriminately. I stayed in Lebanon for 13 years, and when the Israeli bombing came, we left with the rest of the displaced from Lebanon. The smuggler came and took us through rough roads and wilderness on a journey that lasted about 2 weeks.
The UN says more than 300,000 people have fled to Syria since Israel increased its attacks in Lebanon last month. Others are still waiting to make the voyage. The journey is long and difficult, with Syria's various government-aligned and rebel forces all charging those fleeing to cross the areas under their control. 𝗤𝗺cie is trying to adapt in her new home with the help of some necessities provided by relatives living in the camp for years already.
Half of my family is here, and the other half is there in Lebanon. They're moving from place to place. For 14 years, we have been living in agony, carrying our belongings and leaving in search of safety. We have nothing. We left our home in Syria and fled to Lebanon, and now we have left our homes in Lebanon and fled again.
With a precious store of medications, 𝗤𝗺cie tries to make the best of her circumstances. She fears she may not have much time left to rebuild what war and crises have stolen from her.